She has arrived. Equinox 900. It's an upgrade from the older 800 that I had outstanding success with. I've still got the 800 in the corner there, so we'll kind of compare. So MInelab simultaneously multi-frequency technology, high-resolution target ID. They upped the IDs now all the way up, 99 to 99 non-ferrous and 20 ferrous. Target separation, adjust recovery speed, and iron bias. The waterproofing has improved. It's now 5 millimeters, 16 feet, or I believe it was 3 meters before. But before it wasn't waterproof really at all. So I'll show you how they've upped the design. Supreme all-terrain detecting, park, field, beach, gold search modes, and I'm glad they haven't changed too much. But they have upgraded that detector. It's not the same. It's a new machine. Extreme precision, stable ID depth, and pinpoint mode, advanced audio control, 5 audio modes, and advanced configuration options. It's lightweight. It's a 3-piece collapsible carbon fiber shaft, which is a great improvement over the original 800 Equinox shaft, which broke. Mine broke, and it wobbled, and it wiggled, and it did all kinds of crazy things. And it's a lighter weight. It's 2.8 limbs. And it's also breakdownable size. You can break it down 24 inches. So it's very small. You can make this machine. Put it in a backpack or a knapsack. 6 single frequency options, 4 kilohertz, 5 kilohertz, 10 kilohertz, 15, 20, and 40 kilohertz. We're going to be operating in the multi-mode, so we won't be doing a lot of the single kilohertz. But I know a lot of you coin hunters and relic hunters will be out in the field using that. On a beach, multi-frequency is a must. You're trying to penetrate highly mineralized sand. So you want to stay in the multi-frequency mode on the Equinoxes. Whether it's a 6, 7, 8, or 9, whatever it is, or 1,000. It doesn't matter. Stick in the multi-frequency mode. So we'll go back to choice of coils. You've got the stock 11-inch comes with, and it comes with a 6-inch. And you can use the 15-inch, which I still have, off the 800. So 800 coils will work in this machine. The coil techs, which are Supreme, the 5x8s, the bigger coils, even the smaller coils, are all interchangeable between different Knox models, which is great because we're going to use that 6-inch coil on the Equinox 800, and we'll let Susan use that, and we'll try the 10-inch stock on our new machine. So new low latency wireless headphones. I'm going to investigate those and see if they really work. I didn't like the other ones on the original 800 Knox. You still got your built-in speaker, and then the waterproof headphones, accessories. You can pick up waterproof headphones. Still, same headphones will work you have on the 800 if you have waterproof ones. And it has a 3-year warranty. Let's open the hood and see what we got. So they've greatly improved the rod. As you can see on this Equinox 800, I put the detect head on there, and I snapped off on the 800. I snapped right in that middle section here. The stock coil, the stock shaft snapped right there, and it was wobbling and wiggling, and this thing is much more solid. I do like the detect head. I'm not crazy on that red cam lock, but I do like the shaft. And as for the armrest on the 800, we all know about the problems with those. They snapped right off. And that was true of all MInelab machines, going back to Sovereign, going back to the XS, the Explorer XSs. You had the Buck Rogers V-shaped. I broke 2 of those back in the day. Broke an earlier Excalibur one. I mean, they're all plastic and they just break. So, but they have supposedly, and I say supposedly, fixed it. Well, here's the new arm cuff. It's got a push button, so it's reminiscent of a CTX. They actually took the same design, it looks like, off of a CTX. The rigid design where the arm cuff comes in, and look at the play in this. And this is the original arm cuff that I had on the CTX from 5 years ago, and it has not broke. That button
sometimes has a mind of its own. It will pop up, or it's a little loosey-goosey. But this has been a pretty solid design on that CTX model. So we're going to see if that is the case with this on the Equinox 900. And there's a little button, and I like how this is indented so it's not sticking up, so it shouldn't get a mind of its own and pop up by itself, hopefully. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. It comes with the 6-inch coil. Like I say, that was a big one for me, why I bought it. I wanted that 6-inch coil for rocks. You're going to get in some hard places. Maybe Hampton Beach late in the year, if it gets real trashy. You can switch up to one of these and try to get in between the trash. You know, I know some of you cellar hole hunters with the iron nails and high trash sites. It might work. But that's definitely, you know, we may have Susan try that tomorrow. Her arm was hurting her from the Vanquish. The Vanquish is a great machine. I'm really up on that one. I love it. But the coil was a little too big for her. Here's the new machine, the 900, and you got the red backlight, and the buttons glow red too. But look at this machine. I'm going to put that down, and then look at the. I'm going to bring the Knox over, the Knox 800, and I want to show you something. Look at how much thicker. This has got a better build. This is reminiscent of a Nokta Simplex. The Simplex was built like a tank. I didn't care for the electronics, and it wasn't as good as the MInelab, but I loved the housing design. So they actually, it seems like they've used a little bit of that design, and then they've incorporated it into this. The problem with the 800 was the leaks, and the leaks all occurred right here where this charging port is. You get micro crackage and small cracks and everything else from maybe dropping it or even wrestling that crappy battery charger on there, and the water would just infiltrate the unit through this access point here. So they've actually fixed it. So I won't take this Knox 800 into the water. It's primarily a beach and wet sand machine. I will take this one in the water. I already feel confident that this thing won't leak. So, and it's just a super design, and it's got the LED light on that back. You can see it. It's a flashlight, and we won't turn it on yet. We're going to test this out anyway. But there's your buttons, and like I say, the rod, the cam locks too or something, and I'm already getting a good vibe, because if you go back to the CTX, and they've robbed some stuff off the CTX, the CTX has a beautiful build design. Look at how thick that is down here, where that coil is. You'd never break this off. And that cam lock, I love the cam lock design on this CTX. I'll try to show it to you here without. It just opened up, and it's retractable. You just pull that right out like that. So superior design. The one flaw on the CTX, like the earlier Explorers, is how the wired coil ends go in. So you got your wire that's internal of the shaft, which was a good design, and I actually like that. That way you don't get snagged on something and tear a coil wire, and it's in there, and it's tough to get that out. You got to push the pull to get that out to access your coil wire. So super design though on that, but heavy. You know, the CTX was a heavy beast, but it looks like they took some of that design and incorporated it. You can see where they incorporated it. There's that rib design that's right here on that 900, and then you see it on the CTX, and you see it on the play on the armrest, and then you see the same thing on the CTX where there's play. And like I say, this is the original one. I have not broken it. So the headphones come with it. You get the hard shell case. Also the screen protector. You're probably wondering where the screen protector is, because it just says Equinox, but you're going to need that, especially if you have to navigate. It's got all the navigate buttons on the bottom there, so you won't get lost. So that will put that on. The charge cable is just, I've already used the charge cable. It's superior to the other one. This one's beefier, and it fits right in and sticks on better compared to the other one. That was, you'd have to sit there and at night, and you'd be sitting there and turning it, and I think a lot of problems emanated with cracks in there just from trying to get that charger on there correctly. So that should eliminate that problem. And the buttons are in inverse to the machine, and then the ergonomically designed handle now is much better than this one. The 800, if you look at the design, it's just like grabbing a banana. It doesn't feel good, you know. And then what they did on the 900 is they upgraded it. It's thinner, okay, maybe a little longer, but you got an indentation, and it's much more firmer, and it's like a grayish there where it feels good. It's almost like the CTX2 in a way. The CTX was not that bad. It was almost a rib design and a little bit easier to hold, but I like that too. And I like the LED, where if you run out on the beach and you don't have a LED headlamp, or you forgot it at home, that LED light will come on, and it's your own flashlight, which is great. And like I say, the carbon fiber, can't go wrong on that. Cam locks look good. Armrest, you know, it's flexible. I'm a little skeptical on plastic, being a MInelab owner for 30 years, but I like what I see so far. In this design, I was a little weary when I got that CTX and I saw this, but I've never had a problem. So maybe it's, you know, maybe they went back into the books and said, hey, what worked in the past will work in the future. So the 11-inch coil is underneath. The headphones, like I say, are in here. You can unzip this, holding this camera with one hand. Got your new headphones, and I really want to see if these are any better than the other ones. These are the ML. I'll open these up. I already charged them. Took the charge because it comes with a charge cable. These are the ML85s, MInelab 85s, and I want to see if there's a difference. It comes with a charge cable. There's your little 3 lights. They'll light up red. That means it needs to be charged. You plug it in, USB cable. Then they'll turn blue. You'll have a full charge after maybe 4 or 5 hours of charging. It comes with a little aux cable too, so you can hardwire it on this side. So there's your charge. There's your hardwire. So we definitely want to try those out. And the biggie that you've got to realize, the stock coil is underneath, right there, and we'll go over that in a second. But the biggie is they did not, and I'll say this again, they did not include a WMA08. So if you need a wireless module in the summertime when you're getting hot, or you just like the, you know, hooking that thing to your belt or whatever, you're going to have to keep your old one. So, you know, it's one of those things, but definitely keep your old one if you want to use that, because it does not come with it. The coil, and I'm going to put this over here, the coil, we're going to move that over there like that, is improved. And here's the old coil with the pop-up, and here's the new coil, and you can see how they improved this thing. It's a lot beefier. Look at how beefy that is, and they got it extended out compared to this, which is kind of chintzy. A little thicker. I don't know if you'll be able to, I don't think you can use, yeah, you might be able to use that on there, but you won't even have to. I mean, it's nice and beefy, and they designed it differently. You had the 2 nuts before, and it drove me nuts, because, you know, a nut drives you nuts because you're out there in the field, you get the coil wobble, and you try to tighten these nuts down at the same time, and you're busting your knuckles. Well, there's just one, it just goes straight in now. There's your one nut is incorporated into the coil. So that's actually not bad. One guy said he didn't like it, but I actually liked it, and I really liked it on the Vanquish. That was very helpful. So that's definitely an improvement. You don't have to go out and get a coil stiffener like you do on the regular 800 coil. I just replaced the coil cover on the old 800. You can really burn through these, and that's how you know you're detecting correctly. If you go through a coil every year or so, you got that coil on the ground right. You don't want to hold the coil off the ground. The reason metal detectors come with coil covers is you want to scrub it against the sand, so you're getting every inch of depth. But that's the build out of the hardware. I like it. I'm going to put this together. We're going to test it out, try some different modes, and see how it goes. I definitely like the machine. It's lighter, a little lighter, I believe, than that 800. but I love the lights, the backlights, the flashlight. The red light is going to be crazy, because my problem with that Knox 800 was I was getting flash blinded at night. I'd sneak down there if there was a cut, and I'd flip that light on, and I was getting flash blinded because it was too bright. That red light on this one has got 3 modes, so high, low, and very low, and I think it's going to be a lot better. We're going to test that too, test the backlight too on there, test this flashlight. So, and it's also got threshold tone pitch. I use the threshold on this when I'm hunting, and the lit backlit buttons. So this is, I really like this. This is going to be a definite improvement. Yeah, I think the 6-inch coil with it for $1,099, I think that's a steal. I mean, to upgrade this, the batteries on those 800s only last so long too, so keep that in mind. If you charge it, you know, how many ever 1,000 times, it's eventually going to go. So I think that all in all, it's worth it to upgrade to a 900. MInelab's on top of the game. I'm not an XP Deus guy, not a Nocta Macro or any of that other crap. I'm a MInelab guy, and I go with what works on the beach. I'm primarily a beach hunter. Now, if you're a coin and relic hunter, the XP, okay, maybe you got me. You know, some of the other machines, yeah, maybe you got me. But on the beach, the multi-frequency modes on the Equinoxes, on the other machines that are coming that we haven't even seen yet, are going to be, they're going to be epic. So I'm a believer in MInelab. They've always come up to game. They've always been up to par with everybody else, and I've always thought they've been the leader in the pack. So, and I've said it for years. I've gotten a lot of heat from it, from Garrett hunters and White's hunters, but that's how I look at it. So we'll put it together and see what it looks like.
An important note, and you may want to note this. This is the 11-inch Equinox 800 coil. This is the 11-inch Equinox 900 coil. Pay close attention to the ears. Like I say, bolt size is going to be different. Also, the washers are pretty much the same. The teardrop washers will slide right in. But these things, the yoke strengtheners, where they will snap in place and they will fit nice and snugly, where you can run your bolt throw through, and it actually strengthens the old 800 coil, stock coil, 11-inch. It will not fit on the new coil, so do not try to force it and do not break it, but it will not fit because it's a whole different design. So leave it on the old one and use it on that, but I doubt you're going to break this. This is definitely, if you compare the two, it's definitely a build quality upgrade. Very, very thicker, longer, and it's got more juice to it. So something you got to note. Armrest up is I put my hand in there, and where it feels comfortable, where it just, I'm not reaching or it's not backed out too far, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, sitting there, and I'm just going to take this and go snap right into place. So that's good. So that feels comfortable. The shaft is elongated. One other thing of note, there are no Velcro tie straps. So you may want to rob your old machine. I've got a couple laying around. I'll throw one on. And it's together. So very easy to set up. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's 1 being very hard and 10 being super easy. It's up there around 8 or 9, I would say, maybe even a 10. Like I say, no Velcro straps came with it. I have a few. The other thing was, remember, the wireless module doesn't come with it. I got my old one. I'm going to put it in with a headphone hard shell case. It also came, I put the screen back on, and it came with a little one of these little screen cleaners you clean LCD screens with. But no Velcro straps. So, but I am going to put one on there. Once again, the coil stiffener will work on the 8. It will not fit on the 11. So be aware of that, but you don't need it. It's really built up. It's almost very CTX-y on that end too. This breaks down. So far so good. Looks good. That connected well. We're going to try the night hunt test. We'll go into a dark room, compare the backlight and flashlight, and see how bright that shines. We'll drop a couple of coins on the floor in the dark room, and then we'll compare that right now. It really looks good. It's not, I like the red. It's not as bright as the other Knox that had the white background, but you can, with this backlight, you can lower it too. So if you wanted to go a little lower, you can do lower light to almost very little light, very dim. That's beautiful. And the buttons are illuminated too. Go back to full brightness, and you got your little sun. And I love that red. It looks cool. I look like a devil, but it looks cool. And then the flashlight is really what we want to test. I put a couple of coins down on a towel here. Then let's a long press, and voila, that's awesome. Look, you forget your headlight, your headlamp. Look at this. This is sweet. And I got it turned. I turned the audio down so I can talk. I turned the audio off. But look at that. Look, it's like if you ever forget. And how many times have you guys forgot your headlamps? I mean, you can actually see the couple of coins I put on the towel here on the floor. So you just hold it down again, and it will shut off. And then you touch it quick, and your backlight goes down three sides. So strong, medium, and low, and off. You can have it off too. I like it on there. That looks good. And the buttons. So you know you're out there, and the old Knox would light up, and you can't see the buttons, and you're kind of flash blinded too on the beach. You get disorientated. This it's much better, I think. So, and like I say, I love that flashlight option on here. So no need for really even a headlamp. You just flick it, turn it on, and there it is. Sweet. You can even see coins on the ground too when you dig them. So very bright too, very, very bright. So you can bring the fine rate up if it's a ring and just rub it and whatnot. So cool.